how's it? Welcome back to another episode of Game Nights.
And again, we have two of our favorite people on the planet joining us to play today.
Oh, hello. I'm the Professor, and I'm back for another round of Game Nights.
Hey everyone, my name is Wedge from the Mana Source, and I'm back on Game Nights, and this time we're playing Commander.
We've never played Commander with Wedge. It's really exciting to play with new people who you've never had the chance to sling spells with before.
So I'm really interested to see how he built his Commander deck.
Today I'm going to play Ruhan of the Fomori. This is a Voltron strategy. The plan is to attach a bunch of stuff to Ruhan and just attack whoever Chaos wants me to attack. The rest of the deck is filled with ways to protect Ruhan so he can keep smashing face, and a bunch of removals so other people don't get in my way.
Today I'm bringing back an old deck of mine. It is Neheb the Worthy. The first time I got to play this deck on the show, I didn't really think it got a fair shake, but it's back and it's a lot of fun. I really hope to make everyone discard some cards and utilize their graveyards in really interesting ways.
So on this episode, I'm going to be playing one of my favorite decks. I'm going to be playing Athreos, God of Passage. This deck is really built around a single card. It's the Shadowborn Apostle. The goal of the deck is to get a lot of Apostles in play, turn them into demons, and then just sort of cycle through as many Apostles as I can to build my board state as big as possible.
Commander might be a casual format, but that does not mean that I need dress as such. I've got Lorwyn, islands, and plains to complement my Sygg River Guide deck. Sygg is a great commander for Voltron, but if my Voltron strategy doesn't work, I've got other ways to win. This is Commander Merfolk, one of my favorites.
All right, those are the decks.
Alright, I'm pumped. Let's do this thing.
Unfurl your playmats!
We got some cool ones.
Whoa. Well, you three have some cool ones. I mean, mine's really
Whoa.
Listen, mine's the coolest because it's available for purchase.
No, it's not.
It's not?
It's just as exclusive as these. You can't buy it anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll trade you for the Grimlock.
No. You guys ready to play?
Yes.
Oh, but first,
Oh, yeah.
only one may stand.
That's right.
Only one may stand.
Okay, I'll draw, and I will play an Isolated Chapel tapped past turn.
Strong start from Lee Kwai.
Aaron Mesa. I will tap, sack it, pay life, and switch for a Sacred Foundry. Untapped. And then play Soaring, and then I will tap Soaring, play Swiftfoot Boots. This is pretty close to the best start possible. I get Mana Ramp, I get my boots for Ruhan later. This almost couldn't be better for me.
Are you kidding me? A turn 1 Soul Ring? This is unheard of in Commander.
Pass turn.
Temple of Enlightenment, I will scry 1 and put that on the bottom. No, I've got a second main phase, Jimmy. Calm down.
Okay.
Second main, no moves.
I'm already drawing my card.
Judge.
Draw for turn. And what seems to be a game night staple for me, I'll play Ancient Tomb.
Oh, jeez.
And then I'll tap it to play Rakdos Signet. And I'll lose 2 life. I really like my hand. I get a Signet out turn 1. I'm able to ramp, and I'm already off to the races. It feels like a much better start than the first time I had this deck. And I'll pass turn.
All right. First, I'll play an Expedition map, and then a Shadowborn Apostle.
Nice.
So the deck wants to get as many Shadowborn Apostles out as fast as possible. Expedition map is also really good because I have that Urborg Cabal Coffers combination in the deck. At this point, I don't have either in my hand, so I'm going to hold off and maybe I can hopefully draw one in the next few turns. If I don't, I'm going to err on the side of Urborg because at least it taps for mana on its own.
And I will pass turn.
Alright, tap, draw, play Chromatic Lantern.
Oh, man.
And then I will play an Irrigated Farmland, enters the battlefield tapped. 5 mana on turn 2. Next turn, I'm going to go off. Again, just could not be better for me.
Wedge seems to be off to a strong start. Ruhan is going to hit the board real quick at this rate. That's a bad thing.
And pass turn.
I'm going to play a Wanderwine Hub untapped, reveal a Merfolk. In order for it to come in untapped, I will reveal Thada Adel, Acquisidora.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then I shall bring in Sygg River Guide.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So if Wedge is going to be bringing out his commander fast, I need to bring mine out even faster. And the best thing about mine is he can give himself or other merfolk protection from any color, turning chump blockers into essentially indestructible chump blockers. Not bad. The route that we're taking today is your destruction.
Okay, alright, on my main phase, I will play the Dalkin Orrery. And I will take 2 from Ancient Tomb. A 4-drop on turn 2 is always A+ in my book, and the damage I'm taking from Ancient Tomb is completely whatever compared to the power level of what I'm doing right now. Pass turn.
All right. Untap. And I'll play Athreos.
Goal number 1 for the deck is just to get Athreos out on turn 3 so that if any of my creatures die, I can just be getting some value from it. Even if people take the 3 damage, they can't do that forever, so I just need to start that ball rolling.
I'm interested to see who Josh is going to start targeting with Athreos once he starts bouncing his Shadowborn Apostles back to his hand.
And then I will pass the turn.
All right. Untap. I'm going to bring Ruhan of the Fomori onto the battlefield. Use my other floating mana to equip Swiftfoot Boots.
Turn 3, already have Ruhan on the board, and he's super hasty, and has hexproof. This is gonna get real fast.
Even though Wedge can't choose who it's going to attack, 7 damage on turn 3 is really scary. So I'm just crossing my fingers hoping that I'm not the first target.
And I will go to combat.
Not it.
Not it.
It's gotta be him.
Yeah, it's gotta be Brock.
I don't get to decide where he attacks, so I'm gonna roll a die to figure out who to hit in the face.
You are 1 and 2, you are 3 and 4, you are 5 and 6.
Here we go, Ruhan. I can't block with Sygg this turn because he just died.
Really don't want to be getting hit by a Ruhan here, so I'm just crossing my fingers that it's not me.
Lords of Chaos. Yes. 1.
Not it. It worked.
You should have said not it faster. Or you should have just said it.
Probably would have
actually. You
helped.
didn't even say it.
Say it at all.
That's right. Play with the piranha. When you've only got a 1 in 3 chance of being hit, that still means you've got a chance in being hit. 7 damage. It's not fun.
Anyways, Prof, I'm attacking you for 7.
Oh gosh.
No blocks. I will take the 7. And you and I are enemies forever now.
We've been enemies for years. I don't know what you're trying to do.
There is no status change.
He didn't change his Facebook status.
I did not change my Facebook status.
It's still just, it's complicated.
It's complicated.
After that, I'll pass turn.
Alright.
Wedge did not have a 3rd land drop, notably though.
Yeah,
so
true.
That is.
If it helps, next
Soul
turn.
Ring Chromatic Lantern didn't make me feel
Yeah,
bad.
I feel like I'm okay.
I will play a Thassa, God of the Sea. So there's no guarantee Ruhan will ever hit me again, but either way, I want to start getting in commander damage. I'm hoping to go for a Voltron approach myself. Let's just swing in for 2 here. And I'm going to attack Wedge for 2 commander damage.
I have no blocks. Even if I could block, I can't because as Island Walk and I have an island. I take 2 commander damage.
I'm not that great at math, but I'm pretty sure 2 is less than 7, so I'm good.
Pass.
Alright, untap, I will draw, and then I'll play Urborg. I know that Josh is probably going to be really happy to see this, but there's not much I can do. I have to keep developing my board, and I really want to play a 5-drop.
Well, that's really great for me because now with the expedition map, I know I can go get Cabal Coffers because all of my lands are also swamps because Jimmy played Urborg. So, thanks, Jimmy.
Wow, you just enabled this whole deck.
And I will pass turn.
Alright, I'm gonna play 2 more Shadowborn Apostles.
Wow.
Josh is already halfway there. The magic number is 6, and he's got 3.
More apostles, more apostles, more apostles. This is the name of the game.
They're also known as Ruhan blockers. Go
You
ahead.
make them valid. Yeah, I mean, alright. I will play Azoria Signet, tap Azoria Signet to play Borrow Signet,
Oh my goodness.
and then I will tap for a white and play Reconnaissance.
What?
Yeah.
This is a super cool card not a lot of people know about. It is perfect in Ruhan. After damage is dealt before combat ends, I can pay 0 and remove Ruhan from combat after he's dealt damage so he untaps. It's like free vigilance.
Reconnaissance. I respect.
Thank
respect.
you.
Also not it.
Not it.
Alright.
I've got an indestructible.
It's
not
not a
online.
creature yet.
Oh!
Would
Yeah.
you like to pray to the Lords of Chaos again?
Lords of Chaos, don't mess with me.
That's not a prayer?
That's not a
That's
prayer.
not a prayer. That's
not
actually
prayer.
a threat.
That's definitely not a threat. Definitely a threat.
It's not a threat, it's a promise.
Whoa.
It's a promise.
man.
Okay, sure.
Promise.
Alright.
When you play Ruhan, you kind of sign on to not really care about who you're attacking, so anyone who's about to get hit in the face, I'm alright with it.
Oh, don't be me, don't be me. I'm praying to the Lords of Chaos, not it.
He hit me last turn. What are the chances that he's going to hit me again? No, really, what are the chances? I'm an English major, not a math major.
Then I will go to attacks.
Okay.
You are 1 and 2. You are 3 and 4. You are 5 and 6.
Oh!
Lords of Chaos, hear my prayers.
Thank you, Lords of Chaos.
As per the Lords of Chaos, Ruhan of the Fomori will attack the professor for 7 damage.
Why did you block with your indestructible?
I take 7 commander, and I hate you.
I think you're gonna have to hold up a blocker from now on, Prof.
I'm aware of that, Joshua.
Okay.
I thought I didn't care, but on second thought, no, this is better. This is much better.
If Ruhan hits me one more time for the rest of the game, I'm dead. And the game just started.
It's brutal, but it's pretty funny. I mean, Prof, you should have said not it.
At the end of combat, after damage is dealt, but before my second main phase, I'm going to activate Reconnaissance to remove Ruhan from combat and untap him. And then I will pass turn.
All right. Upkeep, scry 1, put that at the bottom. And then I'm going to play a Judge of Currents. Okay, so the Judge of Currents is going to gain me life, which is really helpful once I start to swarm, but for the immediate present, I've got a chump blocker no matter what, and if I've got the mana open, Sygg can give the Judge protection from the color of my choice, so it protects me from Ruhan. And I will pass the turn.
Now you have blockers and protection.
In theory.
At the end of your turn, I'm going to flash out Revel in Riches.
Oh man.
All right, now it's time to have a little bit of fun. In my deck that's looking to do a ton of board wipes and clear the board quite often, it also gives me a lot of extra mana. So it's gonna ramp me and give me an alternate win condition. Not to mention, it looks really good against Josh's Shadowborn Apostles deck.
My deck really wants to sacrifice its own creatures and then recur them, bring them back out, and just continuously sacrifice them and replay them. With Revel in Riches, if I do that, I'm basically making Jimmy win the game. So this is a real big problem that I gotta take care of here.
He's gonna use your mass sacrifice to
win the game.
To win the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get rid of this, you know.
I can?
Yeah, black and white, you have all sorts of
With
permanent
the wave of my finger.
Pass the turn.
Okay, on your end step, I'm going to sacrifice Expedition Map. And I will go and find Cabal Coffers. And I'll put that into my hand.
Cool.
And then
card.
I'll untap, I'll draw. I will play Cabal Coffers.
Oh, look, Cabal Coffers. Good thing that Jimmy played that Urborg.
Okay, well, my deck does a thing. I'll play Shadowborn Apostle.
Yep.
Oh look, another Shadowborn Apostle. Big surprise.
So now I have access to a ton of mana. Unfortunately, because of that Revel in Riches, I kind of have to hold my answers close here and not really play anything on my turn.
Pass turn.
End of your turn, I will play Enlightened Tutor. I'll search for Sword of Feast and Famine,
Oh boy.
which goes on the top of my library. And then on my turn, I will draw it.
2 lands doesn't seem to have mattered at all.
Yeah,
Nope.
not in the least bit.
No.
To the
Boy.
point where he's putting cards on top of his deck that aren't lands.
Alright. I'll pay 3 and play Sword of Feast and Famine.
I choose Sword of Feast and Famine, honestly for the pro black. Both Jimmy and Josh play black. I have no idea what's in their decks, but if I'm gonna swing at them with Ruhan, I need to make sure I can get through unscathed. It would be a little better if I hadn't missed land drops though.
My deck is mostly black. All my creatures have black in them. This makes Ruhan a lot more scary to me. I do not like this.
And then I will...
Not it.
Not it.
I'm not playing that game. At this point, I'm committed.
problem. If you were playing it earlier, you'd be fine.
I will not accept that has any bearing on it. Exploding. Exploding. No. There are no Lords of Chaos. You really believe that by chanting some kind of nonsense, you can affect a random roll of the dice? I guess it's silly, but in reality, there is no such thing as the Lords of Chaos. I am a man of science. Well, English, but it's very closely related. This is pure chance and I deny it. I defy it. It is not real. Roll the die.
I'm not even in combat yet.
Roll it.
I'm gonna tap my farmland
he's got to
to
equip
tap
the
my
thing.
signet to equip Sword of Feast and Famine on Ruhan. Now I will go to combat.
Doesn't matter to me because it doesn't work against my colors, so sucks to be Josh.
And Jimmy.
And Jimmy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It was so close. It was so
yeah.
close. Ooh, yep, that's my number.
Then I will attack Jimmy with Ruhan.
How much damage is it now?
9/9 with hexproof,
Yeesh.
pro black, pro green.
Instead of taking 9 damage, I'm going to flash out Living Death. Because of Vidalcan Orrery, I decided to pull the trigger on a sorcery speed board wipe that is really powerful in late game, but I just have to do it here because things are looking kind of out of control on everyone's board. Not to mention, I'm gonna get a lot of treasure from this, so even if I don't hit my land drops, it means I'll finally be able to cast the spells out of my hands.
Oh, revel in riches.
All right. In response, I am going to
I pretty much have to do this anyway, so I'm just gonna do it now so Jimmy doesn't get the treasure.
utter end, targeting the Revel in Riches.
I knew it. Remember what I said about you have the ability to do so? I knew for a fact that you had that. Ugh, I should have known. This is a huge blow because now I'm not hitting my land drops, I don't have the mana to cast my spells, and I essentially just sort of wasted a turn playing the card and then board wiping to have 0 extra effect other than clearing the board for a turn.
Thank you, JLK.
I think we dodged a bullet here.
So I'm gonna sacrifice my 4 guys. Athreos will trigger. And I'm gonna target the Professor since he has the lowest life total.
So I know that if I just let these Shadowborn Apostles hit the graveyard paying life, Josh is not going to be affected by it. He's got others in his hand. He's got graveyard recursion. It's a no-win situation. I might as well hang on to the life. I'm going to put them all back in your hand.
Thank you, sir.
Remember that I did that. It was my gift to you.
Okay. I'll remember.
Yeah, under duress.
And then I have to sacrifice Ruhan. I will choose to put him in my command zone instead.
So my Judge Occurrence gets sacrificed. Thassa is not a creature, and Sygg I choose to put back in the command zone.
Alright.
All right.
I have no other play, so I pass turn.
Untap, scry. I will put that on the bottom. Draw for turn. Never mind 5/5 indestructible. The scry from Thassa is pure value, especially in Commander. I'm getting a peek every single turn and flushing away whatever I don't need. Then let's go ahead. Field Mist Border Post. I'm hard casting it because I have no basic lands yet. And unfortunately, I am just going to pass the turn.
Alright. Untap, draw a turn, land. Dang it. Okay, so that's the second land drop I've missed in a row now, and everyone else is ramping out, doing really big and powerful things, so I'm feeling really, really bad about this situation. I really hope that I can hit my land drop soon so I can get back into this game.
Pass turn.
Alright, I will untap, draw. I'm gonna play a Strip Mine.
A different player than me might like use this strip mine in this moment, but I'm worried that Jimmy might flip the table if I do that. It doesn't seem right to do it to Wedge. I'm just gonna use it for mana because of Urborg. It's still good, so we're good.
Strip mine Jimmy. He's only got 4 lands. Kick him while they're down.
Use it on Wedge.
Wow.
Super rude.
Wedge is the threat here.
I'll tap Cabal Coffers, that makes 6 black.
You have a gross amount of mana.
I'll play 4 Shadowborn Apostles.
Oh dear.
I will play a Dictate of Erebos.
Oh, wow.
This is literally the worst enchantment for my entire deck. Sacrificing creatures, I always have 1 creature.
I don't have enchantment removal right now. Someone else needs to deal with this. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to keep a creature on the battlefield.
That gives me enough devotion for Athreos, so Athreos is a creature, and I am the most scared of Wedge, so Wedge,
Yeah.
I will swing at you for 5.
I have no blockers and no effects, so I'm taking 5 commander damage.
That's all I can do. I'll pass turn.
All right, untap. Let's try to rebuild here. Jeez.
Lost 1 card.
It's the only one that can do anything.
That's a good point.
Dictate is really bad for you, Wedge.
It's not great.
He's in white. He can get rid of it.
That's also true. I am going to tap 3 and play Sunforger.
This has got to be one of the best red-white staple cards. Wedge is going to be able to sort through and have his pick of any instant or sorcery.
And then I will pass turn.
I could cast Ruhan here, but it's a horrible idea. Not only can I not protect him, but the Dictate of Erebos is there, so I'll just end up sacking him anyway. I'm not in a great spot.
All right, untap, scry from Thassa, leave that there, and then draw for turn. Oh, what a surprise. And then I will play Marrow Rejury.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, so I'm slowly rebuilding, and Marrow Rejury helps with that. Any Merfolk I cast, most of which cost just 1 or 2 or 3, is going to let me trigger Rejury, untap a permanent, pass the turn.
At the end of your turn, I will play out my commander, Neheb the Worthy.
Worthy indeed.
If I can't get my card advantage going, I at least can stop everyone else from getting some advantage by making them discard. Alright, untap. I will draw for turn. Wedge, I will swing at you for 2 damage for a strike.
No blocks and no effects.
I'll take 2. Neheb will trigger, everyone discard a card.
So I only have 1 card.
I discard Squee. Squee Goblin Nabob is a great card for a discard deck because each upkeep I can choose to return him from my graveyard to my hand, so he's essentially free discard fodder for a deck like mine. I'll pass turn.
Okay, tap. We're hellbent. Okay, go to combat.
Okay.
Yep.
Jimmy? Yeah, just Athreos.
I'll
Take 5. Commander damage. A lot of commander damage this game.
Yeah.
Mostly because Ruhan did 14 in the first. Then I will play a Shadowborn Apostle.
Oh man.
How unexpected.
Once Josh gets to 6 Shadowborn Apostles, that's when his deck really starts to churn because he can just sack them all to find a demon, and there are a lot of really powerful demons out there. So that's sort of a number you have to keep in mind while he's playing these creatures out.
Pass turn.
Alrighty. Untap, draw.
I'm still not drawing lands. Dictate is still on the board. If I bring Ruhan and he's probably gonna die, I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel really, really bad right now.
I will pass turn.
Dictate is really bad for me, and yet in a weird way, it's kind of good for me here because it's kept Wedge from casting Ruhan. Alrighty. Untap, scry, leave that where it is, draw for turn, and bring in Sygg River Guide again. Okay, now we're cooking with fire. I got Sygg back. I still have Thassa on the board. I've got my Marrow Reejerey. I've got some good cards in hand. Marrow Reejerey triggers, and I am going to go ahead and untap my Temple of Enlightenment. I wish I could start casting them now, but I gotta play it conservative. Gotta keep that mana open so Sygg can protect what little there is on my board. But we're feeling good, and I am starting to like my position here. Pass to Jimmy.
At the end of your turn, I will flash out Pawn of Ulamog. Alright, if I can't hit land drops, at least I can make some mana with a card like Pawn of Ulamog. So it's not ideal, it's not where I want to be, but at least it's an option. And then I will untap, and my upkeep, I'm going to use Squeeze Trigger and bring him back to my hand. Okay, this is it. I need to draw a land right now. Then I will draw for turn. Ah, God, not again. Oh, why do I have such bad luck in this game? And then I'm going to cast Siphon Mind. I really hate making this play because Josh doesn't have any cards in his hand, but I need to hit a land drop.
I will discard Return to Dust.
Really?
Yeah.
That's better than getting rid of this? The ice against your deck?
I have a plan.
Okay,
Don't
all
worry
right,
about it.
I believe you.
Jimmy's made me discard twice now. This time I had to get rid of Return to Dust, which would have been a great answer for Dictate of Erebos. Luckily, I have something else that I think is better, but still, this is the second time he's taken all my good cards.
I'll discard Freed from the reel. Jimmy has made me discard 2 cards now. It's really irritating. I'd be more angry, except he doesn't seem to be doing much else, so let him have it.
Okay, I will draw 2 cards. And again, I don't draw land. And then I'll pass turn.
Alright, I will untap, draw, and then I'll go to combat.
Okay.
I'll attack Jimmy with 3 Shadowborn Apostles and the Athreos.
I will put Neheb in front of Athreos.
Before damage is dealt, I'm going to play Dismantling Blow with Kicker. Target your Dictator Erebos.
Yep.
And I'll draw 2 cards.
Wow, that was actually kind of sick.
Okay, it all makes sense now. He had a better enchantment removal spell, so, either way, Dictate's gone. I'm expecting Ruhan's gonna come out swinging here pretty soon, but at least we faded him for a couple turns.
Proceed.
Okay, we'll go to damage.
Yep.
Neheb is gonna get eaten up by Athreos. I'll throw him into the graveyard. Pawn of Ulamog's in the trigger. And I will get an Eldrazi spawn. And then I'll take 3 damage from the Shadowborn Apostles.
So Jimmy is apparently so hard hit for mana that he's going to let his commander go to the graveyard just to get a little Scion for 1 mana. Not good.
And pass turn.
Alrighty. Untap. Draw. And I will bring back Ruhan of the Fomori.
Welcome back.
Now that the Dictate is gone, I feel like I can finally play Magic again. Ruhan can breathe, at least for a little bit.
I will then equip Swiftfoot Boots.
Yep.
We good with that?
I mean,
Are we good with that? As in, are you going to do anything to stop me from equipping Swiftfoot Boots?
not it.
Not it.
Okay, there we
For
go.
the second time this
I
game.
refuse to believe. I do not believe in superstition. I do not throw salt over my shoulder. I walk under ladders.
I will go to combat now.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4.
And then it comes up Jimmy, because it's just a random roll of the dice and had absolutely nothing to do with his little chant. I wonder if he sees the error in his thinking.
All right, Jimmy, I'm coming in for
Okay.
7.
I will block with my Pawn of Ulamog.
All right.
I'm just gonna chump with the Pawn of Ulamog. Again, I really need the mana, and I'm throwing away creatures at this point. Nothing feels good. So, Pawn of Ulamog will die, and he will trigger, and I'll make another Eldrazi spawn token.
And after damage is dealt, at the end of combat, before my second main phase, I will remove Rohan from combat and untap him. And then I'll pass turn.
Wonderful. I will scry.
Get a lot of value out of that
Yeah,
scry.
for real, actually.
Like, seriously.
Gonna leave that there. Draw for turn. And then Kira, the Great Glass Spinner. Now, I am fully aware that Kira is a non-bow with Sygg. In order to give a Merfolk protection, I'm going to have to use his ability twice because Kira will counter the first one. But I feel that the protection from the 3 of them is worth that extra price tag. and bring into play Sword of War and Peace.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
This equipment might as well be called Sword of Anti-Wedge. This thing just wrecks my entire strategy.
I've had enough peace for this game. Let's do war. Pass the turn.
All right, I will untap, and I will draw for turn. All right, no lands, so I'm just gonna go to discard. Not what you want to be doing in Commander ever, so well, at least Squee has some value here. And I will pass turn. I have 8 cards in hand, so I will discard Squee to my graveyard.
Man, Jimmy's discarding to hand size now. I mean, this is getting bad.
I'll draw.
Meanwhile, I'm having the opposite problem. I'm drawing land after land after land. I really need to draw one more Apostle so I can turn on my deck because I'm really just not doing much otherwise.
Wedge, I'll attack you with Athreos and 3 Shadowborn Apostles.
Okay. I will block Athreos with Ruhan.
Yep, take 3.
Yes, I will take 3.
And because Athreos is indestructible, they just kind of... And I will pass turn.
Untap, draw, and then equip Sword of Feast and Famine to Ruhan.
Oh boy.
Wow, that's scary.
So then when he puts the Sunforger on, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, it is. Then I'm going to tap 3 to equip Sunforger.
This is exactly where I want to be. This is basically the dream. Put a bunch of stuff on Ruhan and just attack someone. I'm feeling great right now.
Proceed to combat.
All right.
3.
Oh man.
I mean, Jimmy just cannot catch a break here. I almost wish that Ruhan would swing at me one time, just to make it look fair. But, at the same time, I'm glad he didn't.
I am attacking Jimmy with a 13-9.
I'm going to put one of my colorless Eldrazi spawns in front to jump block.
That seems like a good idea.
Absolutely.
It's nice that I have Eldrazi spawn here because they're great blockers whenever a creature has protection from other colors because the spawn are colorless. Before damage, I'm going to sack the spawn for 1 colorless mana, and then I'm going to tap 6, taking 2 from the Ancient Tomb to flash out Sunbird's Invocation. Sunbird's Invocation is the real reason I wanted to hit a land drop for so long, is because it's one of those cards that can really propel you back into the game because it somewhat has Cascade.
And then at the end of combat, I will untap Ruhan with Reconnaissance.
Cool.
And I will pass turn.
Untap, scry. I'm gonna put that at the bottom. Draw for turn. So I go to equip. Because of Kira, I actually have to double equip. Kira is now a 4/4 flyer. Cards in hand, Wedge.
3.
Cards in hand, Jimmy.
7.
Cards in hand, Josh.
1.
I want to get the most value out of my Sword of War and Peace. Jimmy's got 7 cards in hand. How can I resist? Swing it, Jimmy. I'm sorry, Jimmy, but mathematically, you are the most logical choice.
How much damage am I taking? I have 6 cards in hand, I lied.
So you take 10 damage.
Okay, I'll go to 16.
I also gain 2 life from the sword.
It's fine, sure, I get it. I have the most cards in hand because I haven't drawn any lands.
Second main phase, Intruder Alarm.
Okay, so Intruder Alarm I know is a piece of a combo that Prof has in his deck. It does raise my alarm a little bit. We gotta keep an eye on what's going on over there because there is the possibility of just losing out of nowhere.
Pass turn.
Untap, upkeep, put Squee back in my hand, draw. Okay, drew my card. Guess what? It's not a land. Come on.
This is crazy.
Still?
3 lands for you're down.
Well, to be fair, I also have 3 lands.
Cool, going to discard again. Feels good. Squee, thank you, buddy. They're taking the hits for the team. I'll go to my end step and I'll discard Squee again. Pass turn.
Alright, I will not untap my creatures.
Come on, just draw 1 Apostle. I just want 1 Apostle. There's like 30 plus in the deck. Just draw 1.
And then I'll play a Shadowborn Apostle.
Yes! All right, here we go.
This is my actual nightmare. We're gonna see something that I know I don't want to see. I don't think the rest of the table wants to see it. I was feeling great, now not so great. Pretty bad, actually. Yeah, feeling bad.
And I will then untap all my creatures.
And I will untap my Kira. 6 Shadowborn Apostles. Brace for impact.
Okay, I'm gonna pay a black. I'm gonna sack 6 Shadowborn Apostles. Ooh. Athreos will trigger.
So now Jimmy has actually fallen to a lower life total than the Professor, which is way better for me because he's really incentivized not to take damage when my creatures die, and he almost has to give them back to me. The best case scenario for my deck is to have somebody that I can kind of hold hostage in that way.
Jimmy, I will target you with Athreos.
All 6 can go back to your hand. I'm at a low life total because Prof's swinging at me. Ruhan just keeps targeting me. I can't afford to pay any life to not have these bounce to Josh's hand.
I get 6 Shadowborn Apostles back to my hand. I will go search for a demon.
So gross.
I will get Runescarred Demon.
Oh man.
So when Runescarred Demon enters, I will tutor for another card.
Why is Josh at 40? Rest of table huddle. Rest of table
Because
huddle.
I keep saying not it. I'm gonna tap Cabal Coffers makes 8 black mana.
Wow.
And then I will play 6 Shadowborn Apostles. I have 2 black floating. With 1 black, I'll sacrifice 6 Shadowborn Apostles. Jimmy, I'll target you.
You can put them back in your hand.
Here we go. Demon into demon into demon, and
Put Razaketh.
Oh, man.
Great, Josh has unlimited tutors now. Nothing could ever possibly go wrong with this.
So with the 1 black floating, I'll play Shadowborn Apostle.
Okay.
Sacrifice the Shadowborn Apostle for 2 life to the Razaketh. Athreos will trigger, targeting Jimmy.
You can put it back in your hand.
This is so gross.
So
I
I
love
will
this deck
tutor
right now.
for Edgewalker.
Oh, man, that's so cool.
Edgewalker is scarier to me than all those demons combined. Josh can now drop Shadowborn Apostles for free. For free! Who designed this thing?
And then I'll play 6 Shadowborn Apostles because they're all free now.
Man, that's great.
That was awesome. Go ahead.
So a lot of stuff happened, and I did a lot of things, but none of it actually wins me the game. It's really set up for trying to win the game next turn, so I just gotta cross my fingers here and hope that my board state stays more or less intact.
That was a pretty big turn. Josh has to be killed fast. No more joking around. The 3 of us need to team up against the 1 of him.
End of your turn, I'm going to unattach Sunforger. And with Sunforger, I'm going to cast Wear and destroy the Sword of War and Peace.
I thought we were teaming up against Josh here. Why me, Wedge? Do you not see what Josh Lee Kwai is doing over there? Get your eyes checked. Doesn't he normally wear glasses? Is he not wearing his glasses today? What the heck?
All right, untap, draw. I'm going to play Pure Steel Paladin.
Nice.
The Paladin's great in my deck at almost any point in time, but it's even better when Sunforger's on the battlefield. I can just unattach, then attach for free, then unattach. It's crazy good.
I'm going to equip Sunforger
Oh my goodness.
onto Ruhan for free.
Wow.
Then I will move to combat.
Not it.
Not it.
Not real.
Normally I like chaos and I love randomness, but I need Ruhan to attack Josh this turn. I don't know if we can kill him if Ruhan doesn't get in there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Please, Ruhan, just you need to be targeting Josh now. He's the biggest threat on the table. Look at what just happened on this turn. If we don't stop him soon, it could be untenable for us to try and beat him.
Jimmy.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
I have the worst luck.
You know, some guys just can't catch a break.
13-9.
I block with my Eldrazi spawn.
Okay.
Before damage, I will sacrifice a spawn for a colorless mana, and let's go ahead and flash out Balthor Defile. Honestly, I'd rather do this when I have 1,000 creatures in my graveyard, but I gotta just play something now, and I gotta do something relevant because I'm so far behind that if I can't get any value out of anything, I'm just gonna lose this game and not have done anything. That's gonna trigger Sunbird's Invocation, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to choose to cast Basilisk Caller.
It just seems like nothing Jimmy's doing matters, and I think he knows it. Oh, and because of Intruder Alarm, untap all creatures.
Thanks, Prof.
I'm at the point of the game where I can just attack with Ruhan and then just sit back with open mana. I have a ton of instant speed stuff. I've got Sunforger. I need to just wait to make my move.
And I am done. Pass.
Untap, scry, put that on the bottom, draw for turn. Really irritated about you doing that with my sword. Let's go ahead and tap 3 for a Sword of Feast and Famine. I'm going to pay 4 now to equip the sword to Kira. Unfortunately, I have to pay double for the equip, but it's worth it. And I'm going to attack Josh for 4.
I have only black creatures, so I cannot block. I take 4. Right?
Take 4?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, when it deals damage to a player, you discard a card, and I untap all lands I control.
And I will discard Skull Clamp.
Oh, see, gentlemen? I'm good to have around.
It looks bad because I have to discard Skull Clamp, but honestly, with Razaketh on the board, I can get any card in my deck. I don't really need to be drawing a bunch of cards anymore.
Nice to see him get rid of that Skull Clamp. I'm doing some work here. Come on, Wedge, get with the program. And Jimmy, just try and stay alive. And then pass the turn to you, good sir.
Alright, untap, I'm gonna let Squeeze stay in the graveyard. I will draw a card for the turn. Alright, this game officially sucks for me. I only have 3 lands. This is crazy. This is crazy. But it's about to look real good for Josh, so I'm gonna pass the turn.
Okay, on your end step, I'm going to sacrifice a Shadowborn Apostle to Razaketh. Pay 2 life, so that'll trigger Athreos. Jimmy, do you want to pay 3 life?
No, actually I will pay 3 life this time.
So that'll go there.
Just find another Shadowborn Apostle.
Yep. Then I will sacrifice a second Shadowborn Apostle to Razaketh. Jimmy, Athreos will trigger. Do you want to pay 3 life?
No, not paying 3 life.
Okay, take 2. And then untap, draw.
The funny thing here is actually that I've been waiting for one of the Shadowborn Apostles to stay in the graveyard for the entire game, so finally I've got one in there, and I can do something I've been wanting to do for a while.
For 5 black, I'm going to play Secret Salvage, targeting my Shadowborn Apostle.
Whoa. This is bad. Josh is going to go off big time. I have no ability to interact with him.
This card is crazy in his deck, but it's the reason why I held all my mana up, and it's the reason why Sunforger is amazing.
Okay.
Wait. I'm gonna unattach Sunforger. Find Counterflex and counter your Secret Salvage.
Thank you, Mr. The Source.
Okay, it's not ideal. I really would have liked to draw 30 cards for 5 mana. It didn't happen, so I'll just have to go get sort of a close replacement.
I'm going to sacrifice a Shadowborn Apostle to Razaketh, pay 2 life.
Go straight to your hand.
Thank you, Jimmy. And then I'll play Remembrance.
This card is amazing. It's almost as good as just drawing all the cards, because I'm going to sacrifice them so often that I'm just going to pretty soon have all the Shadowborn Apostles in my hand.
I actually thought I made some headway getting rid of Secret Salvage, but then Remembrance hits the field. I feel like I've gotten nowhere.
And then because of Edgewalker, I'll play 3 more Shadowborn Apostles. They don't cost any mana.
Creatures untap.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay a black, sacrifice the 6 Shadowborn Apostles. So Athreos will trigger and Remembrance will trigger. Jimmy, would you like to put the Shadowborn Apostles in my hand or pay 3 life?
Go to your hand.
Okay, so the 6 go back to my hand. I'll search my library for 6 more.
Oh my god.
This is a bit of a situation.
Yeah, no, I'm serious, gentlemen. We have to stop him.
I cannot.
So what's going to happen now is I'm going to play 12 Shadowborn Apostles because they're still free because of Edgewalker, and then play Blood Artist.
This is definitely the way that we are all dying in this game, because Josh, if he's able to play his Apostles for free, always get them back to his hand, and fetch more out with Remembrance. The combo pieces are all there, and even though we've been removing them one by one, it's not enough.
I clearly have to do something about this. Now is my moment.
All right, in response to Blood Arts being cast, I'm going to Swords to Plowshares your Edgewalker.
Woo. Thank you, Wedge.
In response, I'm going to sacrifice Edgewalker to Razaketh.
Okay.
So it goes to my graveyard.
Okay, this is actually kind of bad because I was counting on being able to recast the Shadowborn Apostles for free from the Edgewalker. So with it not on the table, I'm mana crimped again. I don't have enough mana to sort of keep replaying them over and over and over.
Josh 100% was going to win that turn, and Wedge stopped him. He saved me. He saved all of us.
So Blood Artist now enters the battlefield. I pay the 2 life for Razaketh, and I guess we'll go to combat. I will swing at Jimmy for 6 in the air and Wedge for 8 in the air.
No blocks.
No blocks.
Okay.
I'll take 6.
So I will take 8.
I'm taking 8 damage, but honestly, I don't care. Thanks to me, Josh didn't win the game. Mission accomplished.
That is all I can do. I will pass the turn.
That's it? Alright, draw. I'm going to equip Sunforger for free. Alright, I'm going to go to combat.
Okay.
Ruhan, please attack Josh. I have Pro Black. I have a Boros Charm in my hand that will give him double strike. I can end Josh right now. Please, for the love of everything, just roll Josh.
Which means Lords of Chaos.
Josh.
So you probably think, given those stakes, that right now I might say something such as, come on, attack Josh. Come on, attack Josh. But who would I be saying that to? Invisible, made-up creatures that determine die rolls? Ah, no.
4.
Rohan, why you need to be attacking Josh, not me?
Lords of Chaos, man. What are you gonna do?
Alright, Jimmy, 13-9.
In response, I will tap 3 to use Balthor the Defiled's ability. So each player returns all black and red creatures from their graveyard to play. This is gonna keep me alive because I actually have blockers now, but at the same time, it's also gonna bring back that Edgewalker for Josh. But I don't wanna die, so I gotta make the play. So Balthor is gonna get exiled, and I will get Neheb, Pawn of Ulamog, and Squee back.
Okay, and I will get Obnixilis the Unshackled, Edgewalker, and 1 more Shadowborn Apostle.
So this is great. Not only are they not teaming up against me, they're actually helping me.
I just did so much work getting rid of Edgewalker, and then he just brings it back. This is absurd. I don't have infinite answers. I'm not full of answers. I'm not the Santa Claus of answers.
Okay, because of Intruder Alarm, everything untaps, and that will put Squee in front of Ruhan.
Alright, no effects.
Alright, Squee's going to die, and Pawn of Ulamog will trigger, and I will get an Eldrazi spawn.
And then Blood Artist will trigger. So Prof, you lose 1 life and I gain 1 life. And then Obnixilis will trigger and I'll put a 1/1 counter on him.
Okay.
Can you kill that Edgewalker, Wedge?
I mean, I'm gonna wait until the end of Jimmy's turn. I need to think about what I can do, so I'm gonna pass turn.
Okay. Untap, scry for turn. Put that at the bottom. Draw for turn. So I can do him 14 damage.
That seems like a start.
Prof is really campaigning hard here, and correctly so, to get everybody sort of teamed up and rallying their resources against me.
I can get rid of the Edgewalker, but that's about it.
That's good.
Okay, that's good because I don't think I can anymore.
Okay.
So if I do him 14 damage, it will leave all of my creatures tapped. Are either of you able to cast a creature before his turn so I'm protected against his retribution?
Probably not.
Well,
you have Squee, right?
Squee. Can you have Squee come back in so I'm
Sure,
safe?
but I can't also get rid of Edgewalker.
You can only do one.
Considering
Okay.
I have
Got it.
almost
No problem.
mana.
No problem.
I'll try
take
my
care of it.
best.
No. I got it. I got this. All right. I'm gonna give Sygg River Guide protection from black, and I have to pay it twice because of Kira. And I'll have Thassa give herself can't be blocked this turn. And again, I have to do that twice. So I actually can't do the full 14.
fine.
And then I'm going to attack Josh for 10, 11, 12.
I can't block any of that stuff, so I take 12 damage.
You discard a card, and I untap all things.
It's a lot of damage, but because of Blood Artist, I can pad my life total when I want to by draining somebody, so I'm not super worried.
I will discard a Shadowborn Apostle.
All right, so I have to do this, otherwise because I'm just totally unprotected here. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Wanderwine Prophets. Intruder Alarm is part of my combo with Wanderwine Prophets. I've got a lot of cards in here where if they become tapped, then they put a Merfolk into play, or if they become untapped. I like to normally hold these pieces up until I have the combo, but I have to do it so Intruder Alarm will unlock all of my creatures. I'm gonna have the Reejery untap, Wanderwine Hub. Intruder Alarm untaps everything. And then I have to champion a Merfolk, and I will champion the Reejery. Also, attention is elsewhere, and so maybe I can sneak this combo out and slip a win in. And I will pass turn.
It's not looking good still. I mean, we're all wasting cards to try and take down Josh's board. Josh essentially has made this into arch enemy, which is really scary. If I can get rid of the Edgewalker, maybe we can live another turn. All right, I will Chaos Warp targeting Edgewalker. Sunbird's Invocation is going to trigger. I'll view the top 3 cards of my library.
So you whiff.
I whiff.
In response, I'm going to sacrifice Edgewalker to Razaketh, paying 2 life. That's going to trigger Obnixilis. He'll go to a 6/6. And Blood Artist. Prof, you'll take 1 and I'll gain 1.
Okay.
Jimmy getting rid of Edgewalker is huge. It helps me out a lot. Without that, I'm not sure Josh can win as quickly as he thinks he can, and I get to keep my own shields up. We might actually have a way out of this.
Okay, on your end step, I'll sacrifice 6 Shadowborn Apostles to find a demon. That's going to trigger Obnixilis, Blood Artist, Remembrance, and Athreos. So Obnixilis will gain 6 counters. Blood Artist, targeting Prof. That's going to be 6 damage and I'll gain 6 life. Athreos trigger Jimmy. Would you like to pay 3 life?
Nope.
Then I'll go back to my hand. So Remembrance finds me 6 Shadowborn Apostles.
This is totally absurd.
Yeah.
And then I'll put out Harvester of Souls.
Ooh, doggy.
Okay, so this is the turn. We're really going to go off here. I have all the pieces. This is a machine that it just has an inevitable conclusion.
Okay, I'll untap. I'll draw a card. I'll play Phyrexian Altar.
So this is going to allow me to sacrifice an Apostle to create the black mana to recast it when it inevitably goes back to my hand because Jimmy can't take the damage to put it into the graveyard. And every time I do that, the Blood Artist is draining somebody.
If the altar hits the battlefield, he's going to be able to just sacrifice the Apostles over and over again forever, killing all of us. This is the one chance I have to get rid of Blood Artist, or we're all just doomed forever.
In response, while Phyrexian Altar's on the stack,
Yep.
unattached Sunforger, searching for Chaos Warp, which I will cast, targeting your Blood Artist.
In response, I'm going to sacrifice Blood Artist to Razaketh. That's going to trigger Blood Artist, trigger Obnixilis, trigger Athreos.
The big problem is that Josh is able to continually sacrifice the cards that we're trying to exile or tuck into his deck, so by doing so he puts it into his graveyard and it just makes it easier for him to get it back into the battlefield.
Jimmy, I'm going to target you with the Athreos trigger.
I'll pay 3 life.
So Blood Artist goes to the graveyard. Prof, you lose 1, I gain 1. And then I almost forgot Harvester of Souls triggers and I draw a card.
So this is going to stop my combo because without the Blood Artist out, it doesn't matter how many times I replay the Shadowborn Apostles, they're not doing anything when they enter. Fortunately, I have a way to get that Blood Artist back.
I'll cast on Burial Rites targeting Blood Artist. That'll bring Blood Artist back onto the battlefield.
Wow.
And so now we're back where we were, and I'm going to go through this loop and drain everybody out.
Okay, now I will sack my Shadowborn Apostles to Phyrexian Altar. That'll make 7 black mana. Then trigger Obnixilis. I'll choose not to draw cards from Harvester of Souls. Trigger Blood Artist 7 times, and I'll trigger Remembrance 7 times, Athreos 7 times. Jimmy.
I will pay the life once.
Okay, one of them goes to the graveyard. The other 6 you cannot, so it comes back. Prof, you'll be drained for 7.
Okay.
Okay, so this is great because one of the rules in Magic is that you can't pay life that you don't have.
So if Josh continually targets me with Athreos when the Shadowborn Apostles dies, he'll always get them back to his hand. So I'm essentially just being used as a tool now, and I guess it's fitting. I don't have any lands in play, I have no action. I'm just a hammer for Josh to beat everyone else's faces in.
Okay, so I'll play 8 more Shadowborn Apostles.
Okay.
Wow.
So here we are in a loop where I sacrifice for a black mana, I replay the Apostle, sacrifice it, replay it, sacrifice it, replay it, and every time I do that, the Blood Artist is draining somebody.
This is bad. This is definitely bad. I don't know what's going on entirely, but I do know that we are all going to die.
I'm going to sack 1 Shadowborn Apostle to create a black mana. It'll trigger all these things. Blood Artist will trigger Wedge. I'm targeting you with Blood Artist.
Alright, in response to the Blood Artist trigger,
Yep.
I'm going to pay 3 and Teferi's Protection. I'm attempting to bow out for a turn.
At least Wedge gets to disappear for a turn, and his is the deck with all of the answers so far, so here's hoping that he's able to pull something out, but it's not looking good for me or the professor.
Wait, Wedge, where are you going? You're gonna leave us behind?
The sort of silver lining in all of this is that I can respond and do some stuff before he sort of poofs out.
In response to the Teferi's Protection, I'm going to sack a Shadowborn Apostle to Razaketh, pay 2 life, trigger all the things, Blood Artist, Wedge, drain you for 1.
Yep.
I'm not going to draw cards with Harvester of Souls. I have nothing else to find with Remembrance, so I'm going to just ignore those.
Okay.
I'm going to sacrifice 3 more Shadowborn Apostles, but 1 of them for white. Wedge all 3 to you, trigger all of the things. And then I'm going to Anguish on making the Sword of Feast and Famine. Pay 3 life.
I really want to get rid of that sword. If that's gone, I can block at the very least if something crazy happens Ruhan, and I don't have to worry about losing. So I'm just going to get rid of that just to be safe, even though I'm pretty sure I can still win when he poofs back in on his turn.
I'll sack my other 4 Shadowborn Apostles to the Phyrexian Altar, make 4 black mana, targeting you, Wedge.
8 for 4.
Okay, so then Teferi's Protection will resolve. You won't be there for the Blood Artist trigger, so
I'm just gonna put this up
won't
here.
happen. And then a flashback on Barrow Rights out of my graveyard, getting Edgewalker back.
This deck is so cool.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Zathrid Necromancer.
Okay, so Wedge has protected himself for now, but Jimmy and Prof are still on the chopping block.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Shadowborn Apostles.
This is so incredibly disgusting.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sack them all for 24 black mana. Make 24 zombies. I'm going to stack the trigger so that these have to go back to my hand. Obnixilis is now a 51-51.
Okay,
And
sure.
Prof, I'll target you with 12 Blood Artist triggers and Jimmy you with 12.
And that's all he painted.
Can I refuse to do a death animation? I'm doing, this is my death animation. This game was bad for me, I'm out. Alright, so, but you only gain 12 out of this, right?
Right, I only gain 12 because you guys are gone. And then I will... Teferi's Protection, man, go ahead.
Yeah, alright. I phase back in to a wasteland.
Okay, on your upkeep, I'm going to sacrifice 24 zombies
Oh, that's...
to create 24 black mana
Wait,
and 24 Blood
no.
Artist triggers and drain you for 24.
Hey, I got second place.
Good game.
Good game.
And we win. Obviously a fun day for me because my deck got to really shine. But really, the highlight of the day is just hanging out with friends, having a bunch of laughs.
Games like this, at the very least, you have a story to tell afterwards. And it isn't the happiest story for me, but it was a very fun and entertaining story nonetheless.
It really sucks when you have mana screw like Jimmy had, but even from a huge disadvantage, he was able to try and help out at the end. We all did our best in our different ways. Wedge had that fast start, he still lost. I was a turn away from comboing off, I still lost. But all of us had an incredible afternoon playing Magic together. Couldn't ask for a better time.
And
friendship!
Oh, friendship. Dang it.